This is a short video introducing the latest updates to RouteXL Plus and the quantitative vehicle routing. I'll create a blank spreadsheet and open up. Okay, good. I'm going to turn on Google Maps so we can see our background here, and I'll open up RouteXL. Alright, so what we've changed is the main look and feel is there. It's just that for the quantitative vehicle routing, we've improved the user interface here. We're using a ribbon to simplify the layout of the buttons here. So we've got our new open save, save as, validate, projection, and then we've got the network side, a toggle to say whether we're doing a detailed network build, which will take lots more memory. Here's the calculate button. Here's the advanced button for calculation, where you can set to clear the previously created routes. And then here's to remove any unused routes in the case of you working with a set which you computed before but which now has much less points in use than before. Removing the unused will save you some memory in your on the system, and when you save the QVR file back to the disk, it'll use less memory. Okay, so we're going to open up a previously created file. Here we go, and it's loading it. Okay, so we have a cluster column in this file specified over here. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to be creating clusters, and at the moment, if we look here, there's only blanks in the data, but I'm going to put a filter on to say I only want to see the blanks, because when I add something to a cluster, I don't want it to be displayed anymore. Good, so now to do the dynamic routing, it's quite simple. I can just click the optimization tab here, and I have an optimization group here where I can optimize all, which will take all the clusters and optimize them. Or I can do dynamic optimization, which means that it will dynamically route the selected points for me, show me the outputs, the number of vehicles and so on, and also draw it on the map if I want. Here's my refresh route button to use. If I change, for example, some vehicle parameters and I want to refresh that route and recalculate it based on the same selection I've already made. Okay, and to put on the map, here's to put my points on the map, here's to display routes, and so on. I want to do dynamic routing, so I can just click the dynamic routing button, and it automatically puts the points on the map for me because it knows to do dynamic routing it needs the points on the map. I also want to display the routes, so I'm going to click the route button here, so it'll display routes for me. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so we get an idea of what we're dealing with. Clear away. There we go. Alright, so let me start my routing exercise here. I've got dynamic on, so I can just go ahead straight away. First of all, I'm going to just put my results window up, and I'm going to group by vehicles so I get an idea of the vehicles I'm going to be working with. I'll set that up later. So let's select an area here. And there we go. There's my route. Here are my vehicles. Let me put my grouping on so I can see I use one vehicle. Let me go ahead and create some more, add some more items to it. There we go, to handle those items. Let me quickly just zoom in and see what I'm doing here, get a good, better picture. There we go, there's my route. So let me add some more items up here. I can add these ones up here. There we go, they're adding nicely. Let's just make sure we're going to get all these around this area since we are covering it. So I'm just going to do that. There we go, that worked very well. And let's go down and add some of these points down here. Excellent, you can see my routes building nicely. Let's take these points down here. Very good. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Okay, and let's try and add some of these points up here. Let's see if we can still do it with our current vehicle fleet. Excellent, going very well. Let me go down a bit further. Okay, so there's a point down here we might as well add. Good, and what about this stray point down here? It looks like a good candidate. There we go. While we're about it, how about this little section up here? Let me add those. Okay, very good, going very well. Might as well move down to the right here and add this bunch here. Maybe let's do that in one big chunk. Okay, very good, going very well. I'll zoom out a little bit more. Here's another section up here which looks like it'll be a good idea to add to this particular cluster. So let me add it here. Okay, working very well. I see some spots out here. I wonder if I can include them. Let's just give that a go. Okay, very good. And then there's some spots down here. Let me grab those. There we go, going very well. I'm just going to move out. And we're going to carry on. There's some spots down here we can try and add. Let's work that out. There we go. Excellent, going very well. And I'll take these spots. Oh, let's take these spots over here. That looks like a good set to take. Whoops, no solution. Okay, so no problem. I can just click the previous button here and it takes me back to where I was. So let's try and add another set that might be a better choice. How about this little point here on the line here? Oops, still no solution. Okay, no problem. I can go previous. Let's see what else I can add here. So let's choose here. Let's try maybe some of these points here, and let's just see. Nope, no solution. Let's go back and let's try here, maybe these 2 points here. No solution. Let's go back. Looks like that's all we can do for this section here. Maybe I could just fit this one in over here. So let's try that. No solution. All right, let's try this here. I think we've maxed out these points here. Okay, I think these are maxed out, so what we'll do is we'll put that into cluster 1 then, and we can say add. And when you add it, it clears it off the map straight away. So what we can do, except of course the depot doesn't get cleared off the map, it stays there. Okay, so let's start our next cluster. Here we go. I'll choose these points here. Here we go. See, it routes to the depot. I don't have to select the depot. Let's add these points here. Let's add these points here. Let's see how it goes. Very good. Let's add these points down here. Whoops, no solution. I was a bit too generous with that. No problem. I'll just go previous. There we go. So we'll just add some of these points. How about these outlying points down here? No, still doesn't work either. Let's try some more here. Let's try just some of these points. How about that bit there? Still no solution. All right. Let's just get a better view here and go a little bit out. Okay, how about this point up here? Let's try and add that. No solution. Okay, let's do this here. So, okay, let's try just this point here. Yes, that one point works in. And I'm happy with that cluster, so I can just click cluster number and add it, and it clears it away. If I go back to my points here, I can see here I won't see these clusters because they've been filtered out by my filter here, which says I only want to show empty clusters in my grid, and that's why they disappeared when I used them. I've done that. Then I can, if I want to compute all my clusters, I can click Optimize All. I can save all the routes to the map by clicking this button here, which will create me a layer in Spatial with all my routes for all my clusters. Okay, so that ends this quick little demo of the latest features in RouteXL Plus and the simplified clustering.